I want to bring to the stage Miss Agapi Stassinopoulos, and then after she talks, she and I are going to go in a little bit deeper on the books that she's written and everything else she's up to right now. Agapi Stassinopoulos. Thank you again.
I'm recovering from a cold, but I wouldn't miss this for anything. I made a command to my body when I got a cold on Tuesday, and I said, Sunday morning, you're going to feel better, and you're going showing up for these people. That's it. Okay? So I'm showing up for you because you're showing up for you. And I have a message. It's a little bit like Gabriel's. How I found myself and my calling in a New York City bus. Yes, it's a good place to hang out, subways and buses. But it has a little bit of a story. Are you ready for it? I want to share my story, but most of all, I want to share my heart with you today, because that's what I'm about. That's how I was raised in Greece, in Athens, Greece. How many of you have been there? Yes, oh my God, so many people. Hey, Light, let's do Shine in Greece next time, okay? In Santorini. That's the cover of my book, Santorini. If anybody's depressed, you just go there, you're going to feel elated. A little bit of wine, a little bit of Greek men, you know. It all helps. It's part of the whole thing, you know. We've got to get alive in there. Get the senses going so the spirit can move. It's a package deal, you know. I tell people who are in the spiritual path, and I'm definitely, and they meditate and they do yoga, and so do I said, don't do a spiritual bypass. You know, how you get joy is you feel all of the gamut of human emotions, right? You know the human emotions, we're all part of it. It's the human condition. We can't deny it, we can't stuff it, we can't pretend we don't have it. And what Light said is the authenticity, and what the world needs today, my friends, more than anything, is our goodness, our authenticity, and our command to ourselves that we are amazing. Each one of you here today can shift the culture by standing up 100% in who you are. So this is what happened to me, how it took me years, a lot of years. I'm a late bloomer, in case anybody is worried about being a late bloomer. I'm a very late bloomer. It took me years to find my calling and to find what I had to give in order to feel fulfilled. Did you hear what I said? I had to give to feel fulfilled, not what I had to get to feel fulfilled. That's a big shift. And it didn't happen through reading books. It happened from a visceral moment in my life. So I was raised in Greece with an amazing mother who raised me with feta cheese, olive oil, and the principle of synchronicity. Like she said, darling, everything happens in its own timing. You know, I was 7 and 8 years old, and she was teaching me about timing and perfection. And we were raised in a one-bedroom apartment in Athens, Greece. And when we didn't have enough money for the rent, she would go out and invite everybody for dinner and buy me and my sister a new dress or a new coat to show us that we lacked nothing. Because what we as human beings suffer is from this erroneous lie we have told ourselves that we are lacking in something. We are lacking in something, and we live in scarcity in the middle of abundance. So when we shift that, and you have to shift it by telling yourself, the command I gave to myself to be good and feel good today, that's the command you tell yourself. You look yourself in the mirror and say, listen, honey, you lack nothing. You have everything, and you are more than enough. Sure you have insecurities, as Jackie so beautifully said, and sure we all want to have more, as Gabriel said. Sometimes we want more. We want the right person to love us. We want to be included. We want to be more recognized. And one day life said to me, Agapi, if you want to be recognized, show up. If you want to be loved, love. If you want to feel joy, give joy. That's freedom. Because we're always waiting for somebody to give us permission to say, you're okay, I accept you. We're always waiting for this mystery prince, princess, man, phantom, God, who'll come and say, go. You have permission to go. Well, no more. Basta. That's it. Nobody's going to give us permission. Nobody. So you take it in your hands. So I started acting at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts with the likes of Alan Rickman. You know Alan Rickman? He recently passed away. He was a little older than me. But I loved him. We were friends. Anthony Hopkins studied there, and a lot of amazing actors. I was recognized as an amazing actress, as an actress who had a lot of, and I am a great actress. I mean, I can act for you in a minute to prove it. No, I'm really very, very good. And I thought, my God, I was, I was 19, this young, innocent Agapi girl, and I thought, oh my God, my life is I'm going to be a star. Because I was so deeply recognized as this Greek tragedian and emotion and everything. And I'm cutting my long story. It's a Greek epic, but I'm trying to shorten it. It's very hard for a Greek to do, It's really the story of this girl who wanted this dream. And I went to Hollywood, and I was cast to do a movie. I left London. And the movie, they gave me my lead, and I thought, this is amazing. And all my friends said goodbye to me in London, and there I was in Los Angeles. And the movie fell through, which started my spiritual path, basically. It was a carrot, for God brought me there for me to find out that I was more than an actress. And I mean, how many people have had that in their lives when something doesn't happen, and then, when you want something, it doesn't happen. Okay. My God, some people actually have never experienced that. I want to talk to you afterwards. I mean, most of my life things haven't happened the way I wanted them. But guess what happened? I happened. And that's the beauty of it. When we don't get what we think we want, it's incredible. Because then we go deeper. We excavate. We say, okay, this is falling apart. Okay, where is my stamina? Where is my resilience? Where is my strength? Where is my spirit? Where is my creativity? And you start to unearth it, and you make it up, and you find the stuff you're made of that is incredible. So for years I went and auditioned. And every time I auditioned, people said to me, oh my God, dear, you are so talented, darling. You are so talented. But I don't know what to do with you. I can't fit you in. Does anybody relate when you don't fit in? Dr. Zhu said we're not supposed to fit in. We're supposed to stand out. So, when you're 23 and you don't fit in what you think you're good, you start to collapse inside. So I went for years in my spiritual path. I started to study psychology. I did other things, but the acting bug was there. So one day, years later, I was auditioning for a Greek part in a 6-hour adaptation of Greek plays, and I thought, well, for sure I'll get a Greek part, right? It was Greek in English, okay? The part was like, so I spoke good English, I was talented, and it was at Williamstown, and the director, Nikos Sakaropoulos, says to me, darling, you are so, he had a very Greek thick accent like me, much, much thicker. Darling, you're so talented, I don't know what to do with you, because you have such a big personality. If I put you in the chorus, you'll stick out. And I need big names for the big parts. I need like Susan Sarandon and Sigourney Weaver. I said, I have a big name. It's Stassinopoulos. It's very big. Give me a part, for God's sake. Give me something. Well, he gave me nothing. And I went home, and I felt like Persephone in the underworld. I'm completely distraught. I'm crying. I get on a New York City bus to go to my singing lesson. And have you ever been in a New York City bus? Everybody's way more depressed than you, right? I mean, you know how people sit there and they go, you touched me. Nobody wants to talk to you. They're cycling up their negative thoughts, their worries. And you get off the bus and you feel worse than you went on the bus. Because now you have the collective despair, right? So, and I was such a sponge at those days. At least now I've learned to protect myself. So I go in the bus and I go, God, everybody looks so depressed. And I said, I could do something here to cheer them up. And I'm thinking to myself, I sit down next to her. When I'm Greek, I talk to everybody. What is your name, my darling? Britt, I say, how are you, my dear? And the woman says, I'm good, how are you? I said, I'm depressed. And the woman says, why? I said, I didn't get the part. She says, what part? I said, well, I'm an actress and I auditioned for these parts. And we started talking. I said, I'm an actress too, but I couldn't get the part, so I became a nurse. I'm a single mother and I have a little boy. And I thought, oh my God, maybe I should be a nurse. And I'm thinking to myself, so then she says to me, what did you audition? I said, Joan of Arc. And she says, which one? And I said, the one that is Bernard Shaw. And she talks to the accuser and says, oh my God, I love that part. I said, you know it? She said, yes. I said, would you like me to do it for you? So before she says yes, I go, you promised me my life, but you lied. You think that life is nothing but not being stone dead. I can live on bread and water. When have I asked for more? But to shut me from the light of the day, to throw me to the dungeon, chain my feet, so I can no longer see the soldiers walking by and the banners and hear the larks, that is worse than the furnace in the Bible that was heated 7 times. So yes, light your fire. God is with me. God will not fail me. God is my protector. God is my counselor. God is my friend. I am not afraid of you. So light your fire and burn me. I will stand at the stake and look at the eyes of those people who love me, and their love will comfort me for the hatred in yours. So God, be with me. And the whole bus woke up. And what do you think this woman said to me? My dear girl, you are so talented. I said, I know, but I can't get the bloody parts. And she looks at me, my friends, and she takes my hand and she says, why are you waiting for anybody to hire you, my dear girl? You are so talented. Go do your own thing. I got off the bus, my friends, and I was 10 feet tall. I was shaking. I knew life had opened up for me. I didn't quite know how or what was going to happen, but I thought something wonderful is going to happen, Agapi. And I went and sang to my singing teacher, you know, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Don't cry, to sing it all together. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept your dismiss. Don't keep your distance. And then we could go on and on. But I sang it with such openness. And my singing teacher said to me, what happened to you, Agapi? You're like transformed. I said, I happened to me. That woman, my friends, I never saw her. She was that beautiful quote. She was the one that Light put that quote by Emerson that got me to become myself. So the message today is, first of all, don't wait for anyone to give you permission to do the thing that sparks inside. You know what that is. You know what you need to do, how to start an idea, how to ignite a new thing, how to tell someone how you feel, how to tell your boyfriend or your girlfriend, hey, I want to get married. And the boyfriend says, or the girlfriend says, I'm not sure yet. And you say, so long, darling, I'll go find someone else. You know, like you open it up. If you want to write a book, does anybody here want to write a book? 5. Let me just give you the greatest advice you'll ever hear. Don't ever think about writing a book. Don't ever think about imparting knowledge. And think of someone you love. And tell your story. Tell what you know. Because that part in you is not the book. It's you saying, I have something to say and I must give it to others before I leave my earthly days. That's the calling that propelled me to write Unbinding the Heart. I wanted to tell people my story, how I lived from being in a straitjacket, unhappy, waking up with a human ache every morning, to finding agape, to knowing that it wasn't about the career, it wasn't Broadway, it wasn't Hollywood, it was exactly where I was, because I decided to give it to one woman and to wake up that bus. And at that moment, life opened up. And then, my friends, I ended up doing a one-woman show called Conversations with the Goddesses. And I cast myself in 7 goddesses because I could do that. And it was so successful. And people kept saying, please come and do it at the museum. Please come and do it at the theater. And it became a success. And then I was asked to write Goddesses books, God's books. I did a jewelry collection. I did documentaries. I did a PBS special. Man, it was starvation time over here and the banquet table waiting for me. But I had to take the step by giving myself permission to give it unconditionally, because life gave us the gift of life unconditionally. We must now give it, like Gabriel said, he found life at the subway. You find it wherever you can, but this moment on, don't hold it back, because you got to be the usher, you got to be the lover. And once you do, you say, my God, I'm the richest person in the world. You feel so rich, you feel so abundant. So don't wait for anything. Start this book that is not a book, it's the imparting of knowledge today when you go home. And trust me, the universe will start to bring the pieces together. And if you want to sing, go sing in the streets, in the orphanages. People need it. Go sing in the White House, for God's sake. They need your voice. I mean, go sing your joy. Go sing your happiness and your goodness. So that's the promise that I started for Agape. And the journey continues, my friends. And many, many times after that, when life didn't give me what I wanted, many times, the relationships, the projects fell through, I said, Agapi, you go give you. You go be yourself. You go give your goodness. You go give your love. We are so huge inside. We are so big. We have 37.2 billion cells that are alive in us, that love us, that care for us. If you're ever feeling sad or alone, just look in the mirror and say, how are you doing, cells? You're doing amazing. You're keeping me going. How are you doing that? I have no idea. Let's have a cup of coffee together. Tell me how you're doing it. Talk to your cells. They want to be talked to. Converse with them, really, right? What is your name? Ian, do you ever tell yourself how handsome you are? I mean, really, isn't he handsome? I would tell him if I lived with him. You got to tell people. You're Ian. You got if you have a girlfriend? No, find him a girlfriend from Shine. This guy's gorgeous. You know, I mean, that's the thing. When you live with someone, my sister and I live together. We tell each other, I love you, 100 times a day. We tell each other, you're amazing. I told her today, I said, honey, you're a genius. I was listening to her on the phone, running this new company called Thrive Global that she started after Huffington Post. And there she is on a Sunday morning, making it happen out of nothing, you know? And I said, God. And she said, well, we had an amazing mother. She made things out of nothing. I want you all to read my book, Unbinding the Heart. My mother was amazing. Amazing. She made it out of nothing, I promise you. She just was the most amazing manifestor in life. She just manifested because her love was so huge for her girls. My father caused her a lot of pain, but her love was bigger than her pain. Make your love bigger than your insecurity. Make your love bigger than your hurts. We all have hurts. Come on, we all have them. None of us had the perfect childhood. None of us had the perfect life. Who did? Does anybody know anybody? We're all the same. Make your love, your heart. Open it up. There's a new commercial by Apple. It's called Open Your Heart to Everybody. Have you seen it? It's amazing. I mean, I said, if Apple can say open your heart to everybody, we can do that in Shine. So let's open our hearts to ourselves first. Love that love that girl inside, love that boy inside, and get people around you who love you, who cherish you, who tell you you are amazing all the time, who support you, you can be vulnerable with, you can share your weaknesses. You can say, I don't feel good today. And you say, that's okay, honey, what can I do for you? And you do the little things for each other. 4 magic words, can you help me? You always ask for help. 6 magic words, what can I do for you? Okay, that's it. It's simple. It's simple. Open it up. Be daring. Don't let your doubts and your hesitations hold you back, because the majesty, the brilliance, the magnificence of your spirit is awaiting for you. Don't delay it another moment. I love you.